All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night. I had another suggestion, and that was to react to the greatest scoring season in NBA history by Scap Attack. It's been a while since I've done some Scap, so yeah, hell yeah, I'll do this. And I kind of miss his flair and his style, so sounds like a fun one to do for tonight. So as always, I'm going to link the original video down low in the description if you want to watch Scap's video without me. If you want to watch it with me, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the video get out there and see, reach new viewers, and it helps the channel grow and all that good YouTube crap that we all know and love and hate. But anyways, I am greatest scoring season in NBA history. Yeah. I got to go with my boy Michael Jordan. Let's see if I'm right or I'm wrong. Let's go.
There have been a number of legendary offensive scoring seasons in NBA history. From Wilt Chamberlain's 50-point-per-game explosion in 1961-62 to Michael Jordan's 86-87 season when he dropped 37 a night. And most recently, we saw James Harden, who was no stranger to filling it up on the court when he wasn't too busy filling his mouth up with food off of it. And who could forget Steph Curry's unanimous league MVP season en route to leading the Warriors to a 73-win campaign. With all of the legendarily prolific scoring seasons we have been witness to over the years, one stands above the rest as Kobe Bryant lit the NBA on fire during the 2005-2006 season, becoming just the 5th player at the time since 1946 to average 35 points per game for a full season. And
Yep, this is the other one I was thinking about, but I know Jordan's got that 37 PPG year.
First in nearly 20 years since Jordan's 87-88 season. Kobe averaged 43 for an entire month, dropped 62 in 3/4 of a game, and poured in 81 points in an unforgettable video game-like performance against the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, have you guys seen that whole game? I've watched it multiple times. It is like a video game. He's in video game mode out there.
But to gain a full perspective on the season, you have to understand how it all started. Bryant at the time was just 2 years removed from arguably the worst loss of his entire career, losing in 5 games to a heavily underdog Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
The loss ended the 8-year Kobe and Shaq era in which they largely ruled the NBA, going to 4 finals in their last 5 seasons together and winning 3 consecutive championships.
With that one, it just goes to show a team united with less actual talent or skill, I should say. They weren't freaks in nature like Kobe and Shaq. That Detroit team was so unified and together that they were able to win a championship like that. It just shows if you're not unified, then it doesn't matter how good you are as a team. I mean, look at the Olympic teams that we've had that were led by LeBron James that have lost. When there's no unification, there's no solid leadership, it's over. But Detroit, they had it, and they had Chauncey over there as their leader. Great team. Uh-oh.
Alphas ended in 3 consecutive championships. The marriage between the two alphas ended badly, with rampant speculation swirling around the media that Kobe demanded Shaq be moved or else he himself would leave LA that summer in free agency. It would take O'Neal years to get over the bad blood between the two.
Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes.
Yeah, He did that right after they won the championship. He was at a club. He said later on, when they talked about it, he was like, I didn't know that was being recorded.
The Lakers ultimately ended up moving O'Neal to the
ass
Miami
taste.
Heat for a package that ended up constituting one of the most laughable and embarrassing trades in NBA history. The Heat sent back Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, and Brian Grant. Throughout his career, Shaquille O'Neal went to 15 All-Star games and was named to 14 All-NBA teams. Butler, Grant, and Odom, meanwhile, combined to play 42 NBA seasons, making a total of 2 All-Star games while being selected to 0 All-NBA teams combined between the three.
Yeah, you get rid of, Shaq, but they got back some role players, to be fair, because they knew they had to rebuild. So, they did get 3 role players, and good ones. Caron Butler and Lamar Odom, fantastic role players. You need those guys, to have a successful system, guys like that. But yeah, it's hard. You lose a guy like Shaq, it was felt immediately.
Seems like a great package by the Lakers front office. LA also decided to part ways with Phil Jackson that summer, signing Rudy Tomjanovich to a 5-year deal worth $30 million. 43 games into the ensuing season, however, Tomjanovich would retire, citing mental and physical exhaustion.
Yeah, there it is.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
Not surprisingly, what would ensue in 2004-2005 was the worst season prime Kobe Bryant would ever have. Bryant would play in only 66 games of a possible 82 that season, and the Lakers would finish 34-48 on the year, missing the playoffs for the first time in Kobe's career. Yeah. Heading into the 2005-2006 season, not much changed from a roster standpoint, as there were some holes in this roster.
It's garbage!
Aside from Bryant, the players to log at least 15 minutes per game for LA that year included Lamar Odom, Smush Parker.
Oh, Smush Parker. Oh, no. I remember that. Me and my brother used to make fun of him because anytime we'd see him, not in the game, that is, he was just Kobe's rebound guy. So we used to always tease him. He was like, man, that's like Kobe's little bitch. Just get the rebounds and give me the ball. Get the rebounds, give me the ball.
Kwame Brown, Chris Mim, Devin George, Luke Walton.
Hey, Devin George was solid. Luke Walton was all right.
Brian Cook and Sasha Vujacic. We hear a lot of narratives about supporting casts for all-time great players and how many all-stars certain guys played with. That generally...
Oh, yeah, it's nothing compared to a LeBron James team. But I'm just saying, like, old school basketball, they had some role players. They're not stacked with stars like LeBron James is used to.
Refers to players that made an all-star team in that particular season. Not only were there no all-stars in that season on this roster other than Bryant, these top 8 rotational players aside from Bryant combined to make exactly 0.0 total all-star appearances ever for their entire careers. How many 27-year-old all-time greats in their absolute primes in NBA history had to deal with this kind of a roster?
0.0.
Unsurprisingly, the Lakers stunk that year aside from Bryant, as he outscored the second...
Yeah, look at the guy still doing nasty shit to the Suns. Not good enough to beat us, but damn, man. You know how they talk about that Michael Jordan fear thing? We felt that for Kobe, too. No matter how good we were, just knowing Kobe is out there, if it's a close game, we were scared. Got to be how people feel about Luka nowadays, too. It's just like, dude, if the game is close, especially now they got Luka and Kyrie, it's like, dude, we gonna lose this game, because these guys are clutch. But yeah, Kobe, man, he had all of us scared at the end of games. He had all of us scared because he can just pull some magic crap out of his ass at any point.
Leading scorer on this team by over 20 points per game. The impact of Kobe Bryant's effect on that roster and just how damn good he was that season can be fully illustrated in his on-off metrics. This evaluates the Lakers with Bryant on the floor and with Bryant off the floor. With Kobe on the floor, the Lakers had a 111 O rating or offensive rating, Offensive rating measures the amount of points a team scores per 100 possessions. The best offensive team in the NBA that season was the Dallas Mavericks, who also posted a 111.0 rating, with Kobe off the floor. The Lakers had a 92.0 rating. The worst offense in the NBA that year was the Portland Trail Blazers, who had a 101 offensive rating.
Damn.
So with Kobe on the floor, the Lakers were essentially the best offense in the NBA. With him off the floor, they scored 10 points per 100 possessions less than the worst team in the NBA.
With me, without me. With me, without me.
It's fair enough, though. Yeah, it was the Kobe Bryant show back then. And that's when people started calling him ball hog and selfish and all that. But it's because he didn't have anybody decent to pass to.
On-off differential of 19 points per 100 possessions, more than Steph Curry's unanimous MVP season, much more, at over 5 points per 100 possessions, and a differential higher than any single season LeBron James has ever played. This resulted in a plethora of double and even triple teams on
That was with the left.
Bryant night in and night out since illegal zoning rules were abolished in 2001, which made his scoring that much more difficult, something Jordan and Wilt never faced in their prolific scoring seasons. The Lakers were also just 17th that season in three-point percentage, meaning there was not much court spacing on this team, something Steph Curry and James Harden enjoyed ample amounts of in their best scoring years. But not only were the Lakers an average to poor shooting team, this was a different NBA altogether that lacked the spacing and freedom today's perimeter players enjoy. In fact, the Lakers shot just 1,583 three-pointers in the 2005-2006 season.
I'm willing to bet the majority of those were Kobe as well.
Compare that to the Warriors,
And Sasha.
who shot 2,592 three-pointers the year Curry won his unanimous MVP and produced the greatest scoring season of his career.
Yeah,
The
different
final
era,
and
different era.
potentially most important aspect of putting this season into context is the pace of play and rate of scoring during this season as compared to other all-time greats. When Chamberlain scored 50 points per game in the 1961-62 season, average nightly scoring that year was 119 per game, and an out-of-this-world 126 possession nightly NBA average. Comparing that to Kobe's season in 2005-2006, nightly scoring was only 97 per game on average, and there were just 90 possessions per game. Even taking Jordan's 86-87 season, for example, average nightly scoring was 110 points per game, and there were 101 possessions a night.
Yeah, because what was that, 87? 86, 87? One of those? Yeah, they didn't slow down until the 90s.
Not only was Kobe's season drastically lower than any other of the all-time great scoring seasons we have seen in NBA history, but it was actually one of the slowest paced seasons ever, as it is the fourth lowest paced season in history, dating back to 1960. Despite all of this, Kobe was historically prolific this season, scoring 27 40-point games and accounting for nearly a quarter of the 108 40-point games league-wide that year. And of the 12 50-point games in the NBA that season, Kobe had 6 of them. The 81 points he scored on January 22nd, 2006 is still the second most ever, behind only Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in 1962.
Yep.
And as for load management, yeah, he didn't really do that. Bryant played 80 games that season. And how did he manage to average 35 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists with such a dreadful lineup while taking only 2 games off all season? Well, he rested on defense. Because of course he didn't. Bryant was also selected first team All-NBA defense this season. And the Lakers made the playoffs in an absolutely stacked Western Conference. And for his efforts that season, Kobe won the league MVP. I mean, Kobe finished a narrow second in league MVP.
No, they didn't.
Well, no, he didn't. Kobe finished a distant 4th in MVP voting that year, just above Chauncey Billups.
Yeah. The reason why is because their record sucks. Individually, yeah. He was obviously the best player in the league at that point, but it didn't convert into wins, and that was the issue. Yeah, he made the playoffs. That was damn impressive. He willed his team to the playoffs, but you can't just inch into the playoffs and then expect to win MVP. It just doesn't work that way. It's never worked that way, except for this guy. This is the only time it happened, but that's because he averaged a triple-double. First guy since Oscar Robinson to do it. So it was just like, we have to honor this. But yeah, it's the only reason he didn't win MVP was because his team's record sucked.
What?
And people wonder why and how Kobe ended his career with only 1 league MVP.
He definitely deserved it the next year, though.
Breaking news, the media hated him. It is fundamentally difficult to quantify or compare different players in different eras. However, by normalizing pace down to a per-possession basis, factoring in league-wide defensive trends, and evaluating the supporting cast, it's really not that hard at all to see how Kobe Bryant produced the best scoring season we have ever seen.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Yeah. So the one thing, he's 2 points less than Michael Jordan's, 37, but because the scoring was so slowed down for Kobe's year, it at least matches it. It at least matches it. And it was the same situation. The Bulls were a little bit better, but not much. Not much at all. So neither of them won a title or went to the finals or got to the conference finals or anything like that season. So it's fair. But yeah, for the MVP thing, man, nobody wins MVP until their team becomes successful. That's just the way it works. It's always worked that way. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I do understand why that is part of the standard, because it's like somebody can go out there and just play like James Harden or something in his prime and just go out and try to score 40 a game and demand the MVP, even though they win like 20 games a year and it converts into no wins. So I understand that they have to do something to make sure that it's not just a selfish player. But I think if you make the playoffs, that should qualify you. And if that was the case, if that was the qualifying metrics, then yeah, he should have won MVP. Absolutely should have won MVP that season. But unfortunately, that's just not it. They save it for, the top tier teams in the league. If you don't have a top tier team record wise, you're rarely ever in consideration for the MVP. And that's the whole reason Steve Nash did it. Turned a 30-something win team into, I believe we had the best record in the league the following year. I think we were number 1 in the West, and we were favored to win a championship just because of one guy. So that's why they made him the most valuable player that year, because it converted into wins. But yeah, cool suggestion. Thank you for the suggestion. Man, sometimes I swear you guys come up with better video ideas than I do. So thank you. I love this community. I appreciate you all. I hope you like this video. Let me know your take on it, because for me, I think it balances out, and I would give, Kobe and MJ like tied for the spot in the best scoring season. But all right, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys are having a wonderful night, and I hope you guys have a nice, peaceful, safe night. Tell your loved ones you love them. Take care of each other and be safe out there, okay? All right, good night, everybody.